Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, this is well, it's a demo I downloaded actually from John Tiller's website, which is actually pretty nice. It's nice that they have these demos here. So, I'm doing the Mius front. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's either Mius or Mius, but Mius seems, I don't know, might even be Mius. But I'm a couple turns in here, just 3 turns in, playing as the Axis Forces. So, I just thought just show you guys something different. It's a love-hate relationship with this view. Love-hate relationship with this view. There are some mods out there, actually. I think there's a mod for this one as well, potentially, but there's some mods for the other Eastern Front, Western Front games. But I just thought just do a little bit of turns, just let you guys have a look, I suppose, really. Just like, when in Rome, record what you're doing. Because why the hell not? But either way, we still have some fixed troops over here. We're currently under attack from Soviets, as you can imagine. They have broken through whereabouts now. It's, right, okay, yeah, they broke through over in this position here. So if I go ahead and I can turn units off. There you go. I used to have a fortified position there. There you go. You can see there's the bunker there. I did used to own the bunker, but I was since forced out by the actual advancing Soviets up here, which is also obviously less than stellar. This unit is disrupted. It's not broken, but it is disrupted, which is not exactly great. So, luckily, we do have a bunker over here, so I can actually pull back, and it looks like there's a nice complex of actual fortifications over here, so that's quite handy. And the issue is they've broken over here as well. Well, this is the guard. Now, they do have, these are obviously T-34s. No, these aren't T-34s, these are T-26, I think it is. Let's look at that again for a second. But it looks like these guys, right, yeah, 32nd Guards Tank Brigade. So these are tank riders, so there's T-34s there, and obviously they're the men riding them. So what I'm going to do then is have these fellows fall back to this position here. Now, they haven't been shot at, which is good, but what I'm going to do then is continue to have them fall back to this secondary position here. Now, there are some objectives. I haven't lost an objective as of yet, which is probably not too far off. My issue is I could really do with some extra infantry over here. These men are disrupted, so what I'm going to do then is see. We do have some grenadiers over here in the rear echelon, which is handy. We do have... Right, elements here of the 294th Infantry Division. Now, they're interesting. They actually have cars to move around. So they're able to get around here a little bit easier than others. The morale for our forces isn't... it's not cracking. It's not awful either. I'm going to go into this view here. Let's see if I turn units off. Yeah, there you go. So you can see we've got the trench network. We've got bunkers here, trenches over here. The bunkers are rather interesting. I don't know if it's at 20% or whether it's like minus 10, plus 10. I'm not entirely sure. I imagine they're hardened structures nonetheless. But indeed, we do have... So they're proved okay. Yes, we do have quite a few trench networks. We have a couple bunkers. So not too poor, really. But we are being attacked by a large amount of Soviets. So we'll see how we can handle the situation. You can see obviously this morale situation is not good, but I can recover it to a good degree really. So what we're going to do then is bring up these elements, have them move up over to this position here. These guns are currently unavailable, so what I'm going to do then is actually have the guns fall back. If I can. Well, they're unavailable right now, so I don't think they can actually move, which is unfortunate. It does give you an appreciation, actually, these kind of games. I never really thought about it in this sort of degree, really. Because you imagine, I forget what the actual scale of the hexes are. But then, when you think, well, it's only 190 men holding that bit of ground. But then you think, well, it's not wrong. I mean, from playing War in the West, War in the East, and obviously War in the Pacific, you kind of get used to, like, divisions and a couple thousand men. But to see, like, a couple hundred men spread out like this across such a length of area, you do kind of get an appreciation for how battles actually do... Well, how they are fought, really. So I enjoy that. I also do have the Grenadier Regiment headquarters there. I do have 2 Grenadier sections over here, so I can move them up. We do have an anti-tank gun, so we have a pack gun over here, pack 75. We do have these fellows over here. Now, they're pushed back, but I can push them back over here. The good news is they're not disrupted, so they're good. They're good. I could combine them, but if I combine them, then they gain a lot of fatigue. You can see that's a lot of fatigue there. The morale's not so great. So in reality, what I'm going to do is have them continue to fall back to this position here. The reason being, they're not likely to come into attack, and at least they're still on the front lines if needs be. So, take a look at this. We'll try and figure out how we can actually strengthen our forces over here. Strengthen the line, I suppose you could say. Now, I do have the anti-tank guns here, so I can actually take shots at these armoured units. So I think I'll do that, but what I'm going to do first and foremost is actually bring down some artillery. My worry is this position here, I suppose you could say. But I don't know, no, I don't think I should be that worried. It is infantry, so it's not going to be able to move terribly quickly, but there's not that many positions here to oppose them, which is somewhat weird. There's also some supply in this area, so I'd rather them not be supplied, but hey. So, their infantry, right, okay, that's seriously not good. I think that's a good contender for artillery there. These fellows are disrupted, which is not good. Their morale's been dropping. I don't have a terrible amount of reinforcements to bring in. I do have some stugs that I did bring in earlier, but I could do some infantry there to shore that up. There's pioneers there. We do have a broken unit over here, which is a shame. I've got 80 guns over here that I've just since moved. This is a turn that's in progress. So what we're going to do then is see if we have an artillery available. Bring it down in this position here. Try and disrupt them. Just buy ourselves some time, really. Yeah, it doesn't cause a huge amount of casualties, but we can try and disrupt them. Rocket artillery is really quite effective. I've got the Nebel Warfares further to the south, actually. They're very nice. They're very nice. They don't cause tremendous amounts of casualties, but they're pretty good at disrupting the enemy formation, which is very nice. Which is what we're trying to do here. I'm going to concentrate the fire on this position. Try and give them some relief. I'm not entirely sure how many men are actually in these units here. I can imagine it's probably a decent few. Let's see. Right, there we go. So, yep. Bring that fire down. Trying to weaken them. If we do put enough fire into them, we can surely break them. But that is going to take some serious amounts of firepower. These are guards, so they're going to have higher morale to begin with. So it's going to be up against us somewhat. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Here we go. These guns might have to fall back. They're kind of in the open. But they can hold for now. Issue is if they push up here. So what I'm going to do then is actually have them fall back if they can. Oh, looks like they can't. So I'm going to take another shot then. Might as well. I suppose they're not threatened terribly yet. Okay, everything else is to the south. I don't think I have any air support. No, there's no air support available as of yet. We could bring in some stugs. Thing is... yeah, heart attack's really good. I'm going to let the Soviets push up further before I do that. But I do have infantry over here that I can take down to this position here, most likely. So what we're going to do is combine these grenadiers into a single unit. Put them into movement mode. I'll have them move down the road. Take them out of movement mode. So they weren't able to move in as of yet, but at least we do have some troops here. So what I'm going to do now then is take these troops, have them move to that position there. They do take some shots, but at least we actually have some additional men here now that aren't disrupted, so they'll have a better chance. There's a village over there that we do need to hold. Yeah, it's quite interesting actually. These men being broken is obviously less than stellar, so move them back. This unit is okay. It's in a trench. Unavailable. Right. They'll be moved up shortly. I do have some pioneers over here. I'm not terribly familiar with what I should be doing with the pioneers. So I can combine these units then, it seems. Yep, there we go. These guys are in trucks. I'm going to hold on to them for the time being. I want to have like an actual use of them first and foremost. So we do have the headquarters over here. Yep, okay. So it looks like we do have units, obviously, with mobile. Let's see. I was going to try and pronounce that, but I can't. It's not worth the effort. Yeah, we have the Mius River. Or the Mius River. Okay. There are pioneers here. I'm going to have the pioneers move up to that position there to hold the town. Now, I do want to make sure I've got the SPAA, alongside the actual armor here. Let's see. I'd like to have some prepared positions, really. Try and take advantage of that. Let's see. Do they have the range? Doubt it. Let's take a look. Range is 2 hexes, which is pretty handy. But if we take a look over here, we've got elevation. So the elevation is 160 here, 180 there, 160 there. Let's see. Need to try and take advantage of that. But I think for the time being then, what I'm going to do is just have the armor spread out a little bit more. Just put some over here. And just see how the battle flows before I commit them. They're somewhat near the front line, but I don't want to have them committed as of yet. I don't want to have them committed unless they are needed. Then what I'm going to do is have these fellows move down to this position. Right, have them move there. Then they can move out to transport mode next turn. Right, we do have additional infantry over here. Place them into travel mode. Right, it's going to take them a little bit longer to get moving out. Have these fellows move down the road. I should be really paying attention to the formations they're in. If I was playing this game properly, I would do that more. Right, we do have armor over here of the Panzer. Yeah, 16th Panzer Grenadier. Division headquarters. So these are all fixed at this moment in time. Okay. So they're currently disrupted, which is not great. They're also disrupted, which is also not great. They're clearing mines right now. Need to try and stop them from clearing the mines. These trenches would be nice to seize, but obviously that's not going to happen. Yeah, the issue is a massive amount of infantry over here, which is not great. That position there is going under heavy attack, so it would be nice to try and bring down some fire support to support them, but you can see that there's quite a lot of Soviet forces here. So, in all honesty, I could probably look to see what I can bring up. Do have some guns over here. At least the sailings over here, we do have some operational depth. We do have some reserves as well, which is handy. It's just a question of really where does this fire need to go, and this is it. There's a lot of targets to bear in mind. At least over here it's a simple choice. I can fire the engineers. Which doesn't cause that much damage, but at the end of the day, it is men being taken out. And it is adding up to their disruption as well. I can fire upon the actual artillery, sorry, upon the actual armour, but I don't think it's worthwhile. I have had that unit broken there, so they will be cracking shortly. So I'm going to be looking towards pulling back to this line here. Issue is that's going to leave me somewhat exposed on the flanks there. So we're going to bear that one in mind. You can't really do anything without a cost in here. Continue to fire on the engineers. Those are the guys that will be causing problems to our bunkers and trenches, actually. And they're clearing mines. We do have mines out here. Mines are playing a very large role in the conflict. Right, there we go. Lots of disrupted infantry over here. The infantry obviously aren't a problem, but they're not... They're not the worst thing. We can deal with the infantry more or less. It's when obviously it masses. But it's more so when they have the artillery support and the engineer support and they have the armor support. That's when it's a problem. Right, there we go. And the issue is as well, because obviously we're moving forces from one sector to another sector, we are taking from one hand to pay the other, really. So it does have a cost somewhere. It will add up. We just need to try and make it worthwhile. So I'm not going to immediately move reinforcements. I will take what is broken from front line so it doesn't end up destroyed. It has a chance to come back. But I'm not daft. Probably am, but you know what I mean. I tried to make it worthwhile. Issues you don't want to overreact, I suppose you could say. There we go. You do get an appreciation for artillery, though. Oh, is this my rocket? No, that's the AT gun. I'm going to rocket around here somewhere. Forgot it's gone now. It's around here somewhere. Yeah, so they're broken. So their trenches have been seized. Now, we do have the AT guns here. Do have some additional grenadiers. They need to move out. Right, we do have additional grenadiers over here. Question is, where do we reinforce? It's a toughie. It is indeed a toughie. A couple reinforcements back over there as well. See, the thing is, they're part of this defense network, so I can't just take willy-nilly. I'm not entirely familiar with what the grenadiers should be doing. Right, they can move up. Slowly but surely. See, I'd like to take guns from elsewhere, but we have to maintain some strength. There are some units that can have move up the road. Just a couple. That don't weaken my overall strength as far as I can determine. So they're low on ammunition. They're still in the bunker though, which is fine. I'm going to shift you up to that position there. Alright, they're moving there. And, I'm going to have them move there. So they can try to recover. Right, have these pioneers move to this position. There we go. We'll fire this position here, then why not? Nothing much else to do. Oh, well, there we go. One man and disruption. That's actually excellent. Really quite happy about that. See, the thing is, they're stood on the mine, so that's probably why they're taking more. So, I could take some shots, but I'm not too enthusiastic about that. I have got this to speedy resolve as well. Well, speedy resolution. Okay. Was it taking that fire? So far, so good, I suppose you could say. Right. The issues will see the assault soon. You can see they're moving. Well, this is the Breds here are flying like walls, aren't they? They're flying around the hard positions and looking for the softer positions. That's worrying, but I'm not too terribly concerned about it as of yet, because I do have defenses to wear them down. I want to try and prevent other breakthroughs before I address that. And that one's going to have to be addressed, but I feel like we can deal with that more effectively if we allow it to move. Well, obviously, if it breaks through, I feel like I can deal with it more effectively. And I see this as bad. But they are taking casualties from the mines. Yeah, you can see they've shifted up over there. And they're shifting up. So I feel it was worthwhile to reinforce this sector somewhat. Okay, disrupted tank. But then I've got the actual tank destroyers over here, the Stugs. So I can bring, well, assault guns, whatever you want to call them, tank destroyers. But I can bring them up to try and deal with the guard armor. We do have the elevation, which is very handy. Like, the elevation is very, very handy. You can do a lot of work with that. It's very, very useful. Yeah, but we are heavily disrupted in that position, which is not good. And that's a problem there. That is a genuine problem. Okay. Disruption is not good. And the morale of these guys is quite good. A's, I mean, this is A. C, D's over here. C's, obviously. I mean, the D's are where they've been under attack, but A is very good. Very good. Right, very good. So you can see they're assaulting. They do push us back there. The thing is, it is difficult for us to be able to take that back. And you like, imagine this campaign, well, this like campaign including the demo, which is pretty, by the way, just to point that out, which is a download. The 6 turns. You can imagine it's going to be a pretty difficult situation. But the Reds will run out of steam at some point. Okay. We actually do hold them here. This is the thing. Armor's brilliant, but it definitely needs infantry to be really effective. Alright, very difficult position there. Yep, as you can see, they are pushed back. They may be pushed back as well due to being disrupted. Yep, there we go. Unsurprising. It's not great, but it's not too surprising. That amount of disruption there was unfortunate. So the guards are effective as well, of course, having the higher morale, one would assume. Well, you assume the higher morale. I'm not entirely sure about that morale. You can see we're somewhat enveloped, well, almost enveloped in this position. So we will have to pull back, so I can pull back to the village over here. Though we might be able to push them back. It is difficult due to the fact that they have trenches. So it makes things even harder for us. We'll see. You can see how you have, obviously, the flow and counter-flow, flow, counter-flow. It's really rather remarkable like that. Right, you can see they've suffered some fatigue. 80 guns doing okay, but then the infantry was disrupted, which is not good. But you guys get the idea. That's why I'd like record a little bit, just show you guys what I'm doing. Not that you really much care. Don't know who would. And there we go. Let's see. So if you shift up to that position there, you might be able to take some shots. Right, fire these vehicles. Fatigue caused. No vehicles knocked out, but still the fatigue's good. Yep, there we go, we knock out a vehicle. Take some fire return. Fatigue and disruption, unfortunately. Yeah, further fatigue. We can recover from that. We took out one of them, which wasn't exactly amazing. So I don't really know what the numbers are. But there we go. So, thank you so very much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this. Do let me know if you'd like to see more games like this in future. Just I don't know. What I might say is, if you guys want to see me play some John Tiller games and you have like a burning desire, then I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Wink, wink. Until next time, thank you and goodbye from the Mius front, or the Mius front, whichever one works. Goodbye for now, guys. Have a good one.